Welcome to the Spare Parts Racing Podcast, your podcast for all things motorsports. With your hosts, Sean Chavarella, Stephen Clary, and Taylor Moore.
Hear that music?
Hello and welcome to another episode of Spare Parts. I'm your host, Sean.
I'm Steven.
And I'm Taylor.
Friends, today we have a Belgian Grand Prix to talk about. We have a disaster brewing at a specific F1 team to talk about. And also we've hit the summer break, so we're going to go over some who are the winners and who are the losers so far this season. And I think that's kind of what we got on the agenda. So, how's everyone doing?
I'm still like half dead from the golf tournament this weekend.
Yeah, that was a good time.
Good. I was at the track this weekend, and some of the races were a little brutal. We had one race that only had 5 cars in it.
How many finished?
Which is a little saddening. All 5 of them did, but it took them a long time. And if we did have a crash, the safety team that was there was brutal. It's like they didn't know how to hook up a tow. So it was an interesting weekend.
Fair enough. What was even running there this weekend?
BARC, the British Automobile Racing Club. It was a regional weekend.
Okay.
Or I thought it was dogs driving cars. You guys ever seen that video?
It would have been a better spectacle than what it was.
Have you ever
honestly.
seen the video of the dog driving a car? It's fucking hilarious.
I'm going
I
to
have
guess
not
that's
seen.
not real.
I think it was real. I'm gonna go find it.
Okay, well, you go down that rabbit hole. So it's British, but it's in Canada?
Yeah, history, I don't really know much about it other than they also forgot about the marshals and the lunches. So we got sandwiches from the freezer from who knows when.
Some good old mystery meat sandwiches?
No, it's not a mystery. It's whatever the roadkill was the day before.
Ouch.
Let's just say it was not a well-run event this weekend.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, sorry you had that.
That's okay. We move on.
Yeah, from one not well-run event to another, let's talk about, I guess, Spa.
Which is sad that it's being compared to some regional event.
Man, Spa used to be the one everyone wanted to watch.
Yeah.
It's gone downhill, I think, the Belgian Grand Prix.
Yep.
I feel like it went really downhill, was it last year or the year before when we had all that rain and they ran 3 laps and classified it as a full race?
Yeah, that was 20...
That was last year, wasn't it?
Was it last year? Okay.
Didn't George Russell, technically win?
No, he was a podium.
Okay. He was with Williams. It couldn't have been last year.
Yes,
I
had
think
to
it was
be
the
2
year
years ago.
before.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes,
wow.
I totally know it's 2 years ago because that was also the day of my sister's wedding. Whoops.
Oh, that's right. Shit.
Yeah, I know, right?
We were watching it in the hotel room.
Exactly.
Shit.
We got to watch all 3 laps.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Right.
Good job, Taylor. So yeah, Spa, and it was also a sprint race weekend. So we had sprint format. So we had no practice because it rained, a sprint qualifying sprint race, and an actual race. So it had, I feel like, all of the potential to be a chaotic weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And we really didn't get anything.
I'm not surprised. I just can I just also say how much I hate sprint weekends? Again, I hate them.
No, I think
So.
you're justified there. They are getting... I'm already bored of them.
It's tiresome now. It's not interesting. If anything, it just kind of brings more risk, but it's risk without chaos and entertainment. So it's just stupid.
You could make the argument that sprint weekends are also helping Red Bull's dominance.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Yeah,
if
that's
you're
totally
in a
fair.
good car, right, you use the practice to refine your car, but at the same time, there's only so much you can do. If you're trying to catch the top guy, and you've now spent a bunch of time and resources making upgrades, you brought them to the track, and you want to see how your car performs with these, maybe with different setups and stuff, you can't. You are stuck doing this specific setup. You get one practice, maybe not in some cases. Like, I think for the most part, these sprint weekends have not gone well. And I feel the idea was to mix up the grid with sprint races, you know. And I think if you really want to do that and have entertaining races, you go reverse grid order from championship. No qualifying.
Yep, make it easy.
Yeah. Because that way you have guys going through the field, guys trying to hold on to position. It might be more entertaining that way versus Max wins, Max wins, Max wins. So,
like there was, and that's not to say there wasn't chaos this weekend with it, but it was also due to mixed strategy on the weather, right? Like that was that's what really threw a curveball into everything, which would have happened whether you're doing standard qualifying or you're doing the sprint format, whichever, because it was drying conditions. That's always weather is as always the great equalizer, and that's gonna always throw a curveball when someone throws out a new strategy or goes aggressive on something. It happened in Brazil, right?
Yep.
With K-Mag, where K-Mag got pulled. Why? You got lucky with the weather.
Right.
Simple as that. That was a regular standard qualifying. So.
Yeah. Any other thoughts on the actual weekend besides that, or do you want to get into the details of stuff?
Let's get into the details.
Okay, so what do you want to start with then? What details? Where are we going with this?
Well, you may as well start with what or I'm trying to think if anything notable happened in qualifying. Max almost got knocked out, and then said, "Oh yeah, I'm Max Verstappen."
Went 0.8 faster, no big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So, that was is that really about as exciting as it got for qualifying? I'm just trying to look and see if anyone.
I wish Max got knocked out in Q2.
That would have been great.
Yeah, that would have been like something.
Yeah.
It's just so tiresome to watch the dominance of Red Bull now, and did you see George Russell's comments?
Which one?
Like, I think he said like F1 would be a lot more interesting if Max and Red Bull weren't in it.
Oh no, 100%. I agree with that.
I agree.
Yeah, if Red Bull wasn't there this year, this would be an all-time season. From the second place team to the fifth place team, anyone can beat anyone any given weekend. The order is always changing, except fucking number one at the top is the only thing. And it really kind of makes you appreciate also like older F1 when like Schumacher was dominating or like Vettel was dominating. Like, do people realize the other fights that were happening and why some seasons, despite you knew who was gonna win, everything else is really entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
But alas, here we are, and we're stuck with this. And until someone kneecaps Verstappen in the parking lot, I don't know how we're gonna get out of this.
Kneecaps the team.
Yeah, someone,
you know what I mean?
Someone
like,
bludgeon Christian Horner, please.
Oh, at this rate, GP might just start sabotaging him.
Yeah.
Although, aren't there rumors that Red Bull has exceeded the cost cap again?
Actually, no. I think they were one of the teams that didn't.
Yeah, there was a whole bunch of rumors in I think I'm trying to remember exactly who, but I'm sure there was like they said 3 teams are in jeopardy, and then like 6 names got thrown out. So it's like, okay, so I have no idea which one's actually in trouble, if any.
Fair.
Like there's
who knows?
Teams in jeopardy of being over, which means they might just be close to the expected spending, and then all of a sudden they're going to spend nothing the last 3 races, and then magic, we've met the cap.
The last article I saw named Mercedes, Aston Martin, and Red Bull as teams that are potentially exceeding the cost cap and may receive penalties. But who knows? We're not going to know until it's confirmed.
It's just catering,
Yep.
guys.
Yeah.
Catering, my eye. Don't believe that for a second anymore.
Why do you say my eye?
I don't know.
Yeah, this is not a.
We
This
can
ain't a
say
fucking
ass.
family friendly. Yeah, this ain't fucking family friendly.
Yeah, fuck that. Anyway. Whoops. I don't know why you
Sorry, I'm still in
self-censor.
my PG. Self-censored. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, you need to do that. So yeah, I guess the only way again we can stop Red Bull and Max is if Max's own team does it, and by the radio messages this race, I think someone wanted to definitely deck him.
Or Max takes himself out because what was it? It was in the sprint shootout, right? Where he was like, I don't know why we did that strategy. And he's like, well, and then GP hops on the radio. Well, if we went with your strategy, dumbass McGee, we would have been completely fucked.
No, that was qualifying. He was bitching about whatever tire they went on or however they did it. Or no, it was he wanted to do a fast lap, a slow lap, and a fast lap, and some guys just did fast. And he's like, he wanted to just go fast all the time. He's like, well, had we done that, we wouldn't have gotten in. So
yeah, that's right.
Maybe shut up.
Or just let him do it from now on. Just let him do it.
Yeah, let him call his own shots. Humble him a bit.
Yep.
Yeah. Let him do it, and once he messes up his own races, we'll all be happy. And maybe he won't be so full of himself.
There's a side of me that says if Max calls his own shots, he'll still win.
Oh yeah.
Oh, probably. I mean, the Red Bull's like 30 seconds faster. It's so hard to beat.
Yeah, he would have won by what? 10 seconds instead of 30? Oh no.
Like he can broadcast his strategy openly. And it doesn't matter because no one's going to beat him. He can tell. Red Bull can go out, start of the race, and be like, we're going to pit on lap 25 and lap 58, and you can't touch us.
Yep.
And they will.
Pretty much.
Unless someone decides, oh, no, I binned it just on lap 24. Whoops. But even then, he'll blow right by you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or people need to start taking one for the team, you know? Sacrifice one of your driver pairings to be like, you're going to be the one to potentially.
McLaren looking at you.
I was going to say you get Hamilton back to his COVID days hunting Red Bull rear rights.
I mean, he tried that in the sprint race.
Yeah, he did.
And got a penalty for that. I didn't like that penalty.
No, I don't. It was incidental, right?
Okay, now I gotta talk about his penalty with being the incidental contact, and then the Formula E race, where I can't remember who it was, sent it up the inside and took out 6 guys, and they're like, "Racing incident, no one's at fault here." And what? Really? You're gonna make that call? But Hamilton and Perez kind of touched, side wheel to side, and all of a sudden, it's penalty for Lewis. Okay, well.
Okay, sure, I guess.
I feel like being a steward is just how to flip a coin.
Yep. No, it's the spin the wheel of discipline. You spin the wheel of discipline, or you do the South Park. We sacrifice a chicken wherever the chicken lands on the board. That's what we do. Bail out.
Yes. So that was a disaster.
Yeah.
Anywho, sprints. What happened in sprints? Stroll took all of Aston Martin out with one move.
In the qualifying?
I
mean, that's unfortunate. That was a risk. You went on slicks too early. They knew it, but hey, you got to go for it.
Yeah.
Indirectly takes out Fernando.
Wait, that's a team call. That's a team call to make that risk. So,
and he didn't sound like he was comfortable with the call to begin with, which in certain situations, like if it's, I don't feel comfortable going on the hard tire. No, we're telling you you're going on a hard tire. Okay, that's one thing.
Listen, I'm not confident with any Aston Martin calls recently.
Well, I was going to say,
they're not doing well.
No!
Going on a medium versus an intermediate tire, that's completely different.
Yeah, but yeah, Aston Martin has been, I would say, they're second to Ferrari in worst strategy calls this year.
Which is like such a low bar. Like,
Yeah, at least on
such
track.
a low bar. Yeah.
Well, yeah, and then I think in the sprint, Gasly came third on a
Gasly came third. Piastri was second.
Yeah.
Bravo.
Good for them. Gutsy strategy, I think it was
Great,
for
great.
Gasly.
Yep.
Yeah.
Great call,
Good
just
for
coming
them.
in off the start.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Good for them. Good result in the stupid sprint race. But yes, good.
stupid sprint race. Yep, gotta have the double S. Stupid
But-
sprint Saturday. Boom, got 3.
Oh, wow.
There you go. Race. Leclerc
Race.
on pole because Max took a penalty.
So much hype.
Yay.
It was okay. To be fair,
7 laps in.
Max took a while to get to the front.
What?
Yeah, yeah.
It didn't take just 2 laps. It took like 7 laps or
It
whatever.
was like 14.
Yeah, it was pretty decent.
He took a while to get past Leclerc and Perez and everything, right? So
Yeah.
No point in rushing.
Eventually, he did.
he was taking his time. He's like, it's like The Incredibles. He's just like, keep it close, make it look
Yeah,
close.
keep it close. Keep it close.
Because like
Second, go for second.
After I think the last stint, he pulled a second a lap gap almost to Perez.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But for the first part of the race, he was keeping it close. Oh, only 8 seconds ahead. Oh, or you're still in
Ooh.
this. Nah.
Absolutely not.
Pumps out 22 seconds. Absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
Okay, but Leclerc got a podium.
Yeah, that's good for Ferrari.
Good way to
Again,
end the first half.
if we're taking Red Bull
The
out of
hope
the season,
train is back. The hope train is back.
if you're
Says
getting
the delusional Ferrari fan.
no, I think it's fine. Like Ferrari needed that.
Yeah, they did.
Like it's funny how, like we said, like if there's no Red Bull, you have Ferrari, Mercedes, Aston, Mercedes, McLaren, Alpine, Aston, like it's all mixed in. It's all,
Mhm.
and like the only 2 guys who are not up there, which of those teams would have been like what, Sainz and Piastri, and they had their lap 1 incident.
Mm-hmm.
Which,
They're incident.
what was your take on the lap 1 Sainz Piastri thing?
Racing incident.
Are you saying a Sainz racing incident or?
It's a Piastri racing incident.
Oh, I'd lean Piastri, but it's sort of
Yeah.
Sainz gets aggressive. Piastri couldn't decide what he wanted to do.
So again,
But Sainz
I-
didn't really have anywhere to go because Hamilton was on the outside, was he not?
No.
yeah, he
Yes.
had nowhere to go.
He had nowhere else to go.
Yeah, no,
Piastri
sorry, I'm
didn't need to
agreeing.
be there.
I'm agreeing. He had nowhere to go.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, and like Sainz's post, like his Instagram post or Twitter or whatever it was, or X or fuck. Ugh.
Just say tweet. We don't care. We
Sorry,
don't listen
X.
to Elon.
Yeah, I know. His shit.
We're going with Twitter, and who cares?
He basically was like, "Oh, racing incident," but really it was Piastri's fault. Like he should have been there.
Yeah.
Which I mean, I kind of actually understand what he's saying there. It is a racing incident because Piastri put his car in a place where there was no real coming out of that, right?
Yes.
If you look at it as just between Piastri and Sainz, there's a little bit of a gap there. He's alongside him. You can make that gap work. But you have to have the knowledge to be like, well, obviously it's a big corner. People are going to go around the outside. And Sainz is squeezed where he has nowhere to go, so Piastri has no choice but to hit him. Or Sainz doesn't hit Piastri and Sainz hits Hamilton. Either way, you're off to a rough start if you're Sainz.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Sainz is putting no one in position.
Yes.
Obviously, he's with Ferrari.
Ha ha ha.
Oh, okay.
I think part of the problem is that, like, I mean, Sainz, I think, has a really good point, but he also, it might have been in an interview or something, but he also pointed out that, like, there have been times where people have tried to make moves in that corner before, very similar, and it's never worked out in their favor.
Yep.
So I think part of it, too, is, like, Piastri is in his rookie season. He doesn't have a lot of experience, and that, like, it takes those incidents sometimes to say, okay, that move is not going to work. It won't work. It'll never work. Don't do it again. It sucks that Sainz got caught up in that mess, but it is a big learning moment for Piastri. He's not going to show up to Spa next year and try and pull the same kind of crap.
Exactly, yeah. I felt bad for Sainz having to nurse that car around for like 20-something laps because he was so slow.
Yeah, before finally getting the call in.
Yeah, I'm sure he was like, thank you. Let them
Yes.
misery end.
Just save me.
Like, with
I have
Logan
no
Sargent's
pace.
passing you,
that's bad.
and you're in a Ferrari. It's like, just park the car. End the
Yeah.
day, go home, have a shower.
We are going to retire the car.
We're going to retire the car, retire box.
Yeah. Well, it was also surprising when he comes in. Oh, okay, he's just slipped. He's out of the points now, and they've shown he can't run with anything.
New tires.
He can't salvage. New tires. Keep it going.
Yeah, that was really a terrible call.
Get back out there, champ. You got this.
Oh, even when Ferrari has a good result, they still make terrible calls.
They do.
Yeah.
Also, can we put a pin in the whole Daniel Ricciardo comeback story? Because Yuki kicked his ass this weekend.
Yes.
Like race pace and everything.
Absolutely.
Like Yuki got last guy in the points. Where's Ricciardo? 16th. Ooh,
Ooh.
not good.
No.
So much for comeback.
You're saying Tsunoda was up there for the sprint too, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think he
Yeah,
was.
he did. He had a good weekend.
Or where was it? Oh no, he was not. He was 18th. Never mind.
Ooh,
Well,
never
he still had a good weekend for the race, but still.
Qualifying, he was 11th. Ricardo was 19th.
Damn.
That's a pretty big gap.
Yeah. So yeah, that not so good for them. Anything else to mention for the race?
Well, okay. So you mentioned the Aston Martin strategy. They did okay with Alonso, I guess. I don't know what the hell they were doing with Stroll. Here, we're doing one stop, take softs, go, take it and go.
They didn't want to stop him.
I thought they one stopped him.
No, what they did,
Or
they short
they did a
stinted
longer-
the second stint.
Yeah. They did a longer
Right.
run with soft
Yeah.
tires, which was like it's a call.
Because they put him on the softs in the middle of the rain, thinking that was a smart move.
I don't know.
Yeah. I think Norris did that, though, and it worked for him to get him back up, because Norris plummeted off the start of the race.
No, they one stop Stroll on lap 20. He only had one stop.
Really?
Yep. I was gonna say I'm
I
pretty
thought-
sure he only had one. Nope. I'm
Wow.
looking at the thing, and I was like, "This is a interesting call." Maybe I was like, maybe they're betting on a safety car late with the rain. Someone, and I was like, okay, maybe that'll work. Nope.
Interesting.
Yeah. Lap 20, and he had to go 24 laps with softs at Spa. Okay.
Yeah, that's not a good strategy. I think, for
Not a
Brady.
good call.
No.
No.
Like Alonso got two stops. He got stopped on 10 and where was his second stop? 29.
Was that the one they put? They put him in softs to finish in the rain?
Yeah,
I thought
I
it
think
was Stroll
so.
they did, but I guess maybe it was.
No, Stroll. They did one stop and put him on softs.
Wow.
Again, maybe betting on a safety car with the rain or something. I don't know, and then saying, "Oh well, we didn't get it run to the end," but
Yeah, that's not a good call. I think.
it was an interesting call. So
Wow.
I mean, it got them points, so sure, I guess they probably could have gotten more if they just stuck them on hards. If they were going to try and do
To be
that,
fair, Gasly did take the softs 23 laps, so
was that at the beginning or at the end?
beginning he started at the softs and went 23.
Okay,
Then changed to mediums in the end.
so he would have had more life, which is why he was making a late run up the board.
Yeah, both Alpines did really well,
Mhm.
especially after their disaster last week.
Last week, that was their disaster on Friday.
I mean, the Alpine disaster keeps on rolling, really.
Yeah.
So
Oh yes.
What was it this week? It was Otmar gone. Snafhauser.
Yeah, Zafnauer is
so-
gone. And I literally just watched this video and I can't remember his name, but he's been there for like 30 years.
Let's look up here.
The sporting director.
Permain.
Yes.
Yeah, Alain Permain, who's been there, since basically like the Enstone team was founded. So they're
Yes.
gone since 2018, since they basically rebranded themselves from Renault to Alpine.
To French.
Well, they were always French, but more French.
But extremely French.
They've lost Cyril, who was their team principal, their executive director, who was Marcin Budkowski, Nick Chester, who was a technical director, Bob Bell, a chief technical officer, Peter Machin, who is the head of Aero, and Remy Taffin, who is an engine chief. And now we have Otmar and Permain to add to that list.
And don't
So,
forget that Prost walked away.
Prost left. Oh, and they also just had what's his name, who was announced as leaving to go to Williams.
Yes. Fry?
Yes.
Pry?
Pry? Let's go with that.
He's going to be, the technical director at Williams?
I think so, yeah. Pat Fry.
Pat Fry. Okay, so
they're in like management free fall. Alpine is, right?
free fall. And
And
okay,
what's
so the
the- what's the
CEO,
full-
Yeah.
the CEO, like Fama, however, whatever, French guy. Apparently, like he came in like last year or the year before.
No, so Bruno Femin, anyway, yeah. He became,
Yeah, he was the engine boss.
Yeah, he became the vice president of Alpine Motorsports. And then you have Laurent Rossi, who's like the CEO of like all of Renault.
Yeah, but Rossi's gone.
Is he gone too now?
Yes, Rossi's gone, and Femin is now the CEO.
Oh my god, really? Oh god.
Yes, okay. And to top it all off, he did not come from F1 experience.
So he's just
He had no F1 race experience when he became engine boss. And now, like, I think months later, I don't think even it's been a full year, he's running the whole show. The entire program,
what the fuck are they doing?
plan. Who knows?
Like-
project. Sorry, the word's project.
I
He's
mean, like
running the whole
Steven's a project, but like, you know.
Aren't we all projects?
Nah, I'm perfect.
Okay, Sean, no, you're not, but all right, we'll go with that.
That hairline says otherwise.
Hairline, my 5'6" ass, and
Should we be like being paid to say that at the wedding?
ooh, yes, please.
Sean has been perfect, always been perfect.
Thank you. Yes.
Okay. Anyway.
But yeah, anyway, so they are in absolute disarray.
Yeah, and here's how you know it's
Disarray.
like just a complete train off the tracks. They want Bonatto to lead the rebuild.
Oh god.
Okay.
Do you
Okay.
remember the last time Bonatto led a potential rebuild of a team?
They're still recovering.
Right.
Yeah.
They're still recovering from that.
So here's my thought, and this is actually I can understand why you would want Bonatto to lead there, but
no. Bad idea.
they're
Bad
too
idea.
corporate. Alpine's clearly too corporate of a team. That everything has to be done, but what the board wants and the image of like the French, like
Okay, and apparently like one of the biggest reasons is that like the corporate like head of Alpine wanted this whole like, you know, right, like 1 and 2s in 100 races or something like that. And like there's Otmar and the sporting director whose name I've already forgotten again, Alan. Yeah, him. Basically saying that's not doable. Where they are right now, that is not doable.
yeah, you don't just say win in 5 years. We're fucking trying. It's competition. This isn't a pageant where I'm eventually just gonna be the winner because I've tried hard enough. that's not how this works.
Yeah, like they're comparing their progress to that of McLaren and Aston Martin, and I get that. Like they're on equal footing, but also what are you bringing in upgrades? What are you bringing in development? Right? Like you can't just have this lofty plan of when you're going to get a world championship without actually planning how you're going to get there.
Yeah, like you, and also I just want to dunk on myself quickly because I think I had going into this year Alpine as the 4th best team.
You had Alpine as the 3rd best team, Sean.
Oh, my heart.
Ooh, it's even worse.
God damn it. Oh, no.
Lofty goals. Lofty
Yep,
goals.
Yeah, so at least I believe in the team. I think besides everyone else that works there. So, yeah, you have obviously a corporate side who says, we have our goals to get here, which is win. Okay. You have your racing team who says, we also want to get here and win. The corporate side is doing this time, and the other guys are going, how the fuck can I do that? And when you can't meet that demand, you're gone.
Yeah.
Like, to me, this is like such a French problem, I feel like. Like, the Alpine are being too French on this.
It's almost like they're Ferrari trying to be too Italian.
So let's bring in the guy who's good for, corporate branding, Mattia Binotto. Which makes sense. He is pretty good at sucking up to boards. I'm assuming that's why he stayed at Ferrari for as long as he did. And if he takes the Alpine role, same thing. He's just kind of a middleman for the board.
Yeah, pretty much. And the team is just going to go further and further into disarray.
I can't wait for that communication breakdown when Binotto refuses to speak French. And the board only speaks French and doesn't bother to get an Italian interpreter.
I assume Binotto knows how to speak French, to be honest. And he'll just speak everything in French, and they'll have a French team, and they don't communicate in English. They just don't.
Does that mean on Drive to Survive he's going to switch to only speaking in French?
Yes.
Yes.
Ah!
Yeah, he's Swiss. He's born in Switzerland, so he definitely knows French.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
All right, I can't wait then.
Oh, my God. He's really going to be
We'll
that
get-
corporate bitch.
That means we're going to have to watch every season or the whole back half of this season of Drive to Survive with Sarah so she can just translate and point out where they've translated wrong. Oh, boy.
Yeah, so...
Oh, what a mess. It's a mess. It's a mess. It's a mess.
Yeah, this is going to be a disaster of a season. And going forward, like, I don't know how Alpine ever recovers. Like,
but
as for a guy like Ottmar, I know where he's going to go next. I guarantee it.
where? IndyCar.
Nope.
Oh. Where?
I guarantee he'll be a team principal again.
Where?
They're not a team yet.
Oh, Audi?
Nope.
Oh, Andretti?
He will be with Andretti. I guarantee it.
Ooh, okay, I love that. I like that idea. I hope so. That'd be great.
Yeah, he'll be like the Andrea Stella, and Mario Andretti will be like the Zach Brown.
Yeah.
Right?
100%.
Just sort of flying back and forth. They can carpool now.
Him and Zach.
Airpool.
God damn it.
Airpool.
I think it's just called being a private jet at that point.
Yeah, it's just called being rich.
Yeah, must be nice. But yeah, I could see Ottmar going there in the future because isn't he American?
Mm-hmm.
I think he has American citizenship. Get a good guy on the brand, like
Romanian
recognizable.
American. I would not have guessed Romanian.
No.
But
if you think about it, he's not going back to Aston Martin, burn that bridge.
Yep.
None of the big three want him. He's not going to Alpine. Mm-hmm. McLaren doesn't need him. I would not want to go to any of the bottom feeding teams. I don't think Haas is going to be getting rid of
Gunther? No way.
Anytime soon. Nope.
well,
So
just
yeah.
sit out for a little bit, bide your time, enjoy some time off.
Yeah.
Come back in a couple years.
He'll be in with Andretti when they get their team.
I like that prediction. We'll come back to it when it
makes
happens.
sense, right? Like
It does. It does make a lot of sense.
meanwhile,
And Logan Sargent will be driving for Andretti instead of... No, I'm kidding. I hope not.
Get Logan Sargent and Nicholas Latifi.
Oh boy.
No, Latifi's going and getting his MBA. Good for him.
I don't think you can actually predict who will drive for the Andretti team if that ever
No,
actually gets approved.
there's gonna be so many
It's so many
shenanigans.
years away. There's so much crap happening. Some guys might take the opportunity to jump to a new team.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot happening. That'll be the best silly season.
Yeah, it's amazing what happens. There's more teams in the sport. It's
Yeah.
just better.
Yeah. You create 4 new jobs, all of a sudden Mick Schumacher isn't a reserve driver sitting on the Mercedes sideline as a cheerleader. Daniel Ricciardo doesn't have to wait for a rookie to be decapitated by Helmut Marko.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, I read. So apparently, it's Marco's salary that may or may not affect their cost cap.
That is hilarious.
Because apparently it had something to do with his contract, and it wasn't counting towards the salary cap initially. Like they were trying to find a loophole. I think.
That's funny.
I would.
That's what I was
advisor.
reading.
That'd be great.
Yeah, he's an advisor, but he's there every single weekend. So he acts in team decisions, right? So it's like
Yep.
they found like a loophole for his like $136 million salary or something like that. So I
That's how
think they're
much he
trying to come
makes?
down. Yes.
For
That's like the
what?
entire.
Okay,
That's
now
the
it's all
entire cap.
clicking.
Shit.
Man,
Yeah.
What does he even do?
how do I make
Yeah,
that
it's
money?
a lot of money.
Fuck, Adrian
I
Newey's
think it
the
was
fucking.
136.
Adrian Newey should be making that money, not fucking Marco.
I think
Yeah,
Adrian Newey
it
makes
was
more.
crazy. I think
Okay,
it
so
was that
you still,
number.
with how good the car is, you still take that money, say, Helmet, fuck off. Newey's just gonna make the car forever and ever now. Jesus Christ. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Did we have anything else for Spa?
Okay, one last thing before we move on from the Alpine thing. When will Alpine get a win again?
Well, over.
3 years.
Give me a year. Give me a season.
A season? A year? You want a year? 2028.
That's what I was thinking, actually. That was the first thing that came to my mind. 2028.
It's honestly, it's way too hard until they pick someone to sort of lead the last bit of this regulation, and then
I feel
that'll
bad
set
for
up
the
how
drivers,
they.
though.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but
Yeah.
it'll depend on how they set up to go into the 2026 regulations.
Yeah.
That's gonna, because if they fucking botch that, hit the over on 2030 and see you in the next round of regulations, guys.
I'm gonna bet also that Gasly and Ocon are there for the foreseeable future.
Yeah.
Just because now that you're in a shit car, you don't get to show off your skill as much. And again, we're assuming it's shit, but with the turnaround in management, there probably is going to be a lot of issues going forward. You may not get the most development out of your car or build a good car for next year, so let's assume they're not as good. So they're not going to be as good. You're not going to get, as much credit as you deserve. So no big teams are going to want you. No smaller team is going to want you. And Alpine's going to be like, okay, we're going to keep our whole French image, so we're going to keep our French boys.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. I feel really bad for Sarah. She got a fucking jersey, like the Alpine team shirt. What was that, 2 months ago? And then they've seemed to literally spiral out since then, so.
Okay, well, she can be in the boat with me of sad.
Everyone's in the
Sad
boat
F1.
of sad. Red Bull exists.
Yeah.
True, fair enough.
At best, you get like meh, which is me, because I was like, McLaren's gonna be 7th this year. Oh, they're not 7th. This is fantastic.
Yeah. The only people,
I don't know what else.
only
I could
people
ask for.
happy are the fucking Dutch fans who come out every week with their flares and they're always in their orange. Yeah. The
Nothing annoys me more.
Max Army guys, I guess, or whatever they're called. I don't even know.
Do you know what's annoying when I go down in the morning to make my coffee and all I hear is stupid like Max,
Super Max, Max,
super Max, Max. I'm like, Living in a house with 2 Red Bull fans is ruining my life.
Oh, I thought higher of Connor and Dawn.
I think murder should be legal in that case. I think you can legally get away with it then.
Well, my dad isn't a Verstappen fan. He's a Sergio fan, right? Like,
Okay, he suffers
So he-
enough.
Yeah.
yeah, but I think Connor has sold his soul. He's a Ricardo fan technically, but now he's cheering for Max, and I think he's selling his soul to the devil.
Yeah, that checks out. Anyway.
Okay. Well, is that it for Spa?
I think so.
Okay, because we've hit summer break, and just because school's out doesn't mean we can't do grades. So let's do grades from the first half of the season. And this will be very interesting considering how much it's sort of been mixed up the last couple of weeks.
Are we doing team first or driver or both?
Well, I was going to say, do we want to do like team by team? Do we want to do teams overall, then drivers overall? Like, how do we want to do this?
I think
Let's go team by team, and then
Team by
we'll
team.
do the drivers like with them.
Within the
That
team?
makes
Okay.
sense.
So we'll just do, I've already set this up by constructor, so we'll just do constructor standings. Nice and easy. So
Not hard.
Red Bull, this will be quick and easy.
A plus.
A
A
plus. A reluctant A plus.
A plus for the team. Okay, drivers.
A plus
Max,
for Max.
A plus.
A plus for Max.
Can I,
There's
give,
really
can I do
not
a skip grade for Max?
Yeah, skip grade.
Yeah.
Too good. Not fair.
Why are you trying to fight a bunch of 12-year-olds? You're in fucking high school.
Yeah, it's the young Sheldon in classroom is what Max is.
Yeah, basically. He
Perez.
should be in college. Perez, like
Ooh,
this
A
will be
minus?
where it gets interesting.
A
You gonna go
minus.
A minus? Okay.
I still think he's good. I just think he's struggled a little bit, had some hard luck in the first half of the season. So I'll give A minus because he's still up there and he's still like he's proved himself coming back from even 15th and still like being in the points or even like close to a podium. So A minus.
B.
B.
A B?
There are a few races that are unacceptable for where you finished.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say B plus. I'm like right in between, where it's like you have the best car, so yeah, no shit, you can do well. But the fact you aren't, not that I expect him to be challenging, but how far he's so far back already.
He does have 2
And
wins.
it's
To
like-
be fair, he's got 2 wins.
Yeah,
He
and
matched
that was back in like May.
Yeah, I know. Max hasn't
It's
lost
been-
since was it May or something?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
he hasn't lost a race, either actual or sprint.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
definitely not in the A's for me, but like, yeah, he's still done well.
Fair enough.
So, all right, nice and easy. Mercedes, shockingly second in the constructors with 247 points, 50 points up on the next closest team.
Yeah, I would say
Driver's currently second.
Mercedes solid A minus.
I'm gonna give them a B.
A minus, B. Okay, I was sort of bouncing around.
They started terrible, and they've really
They
worked their
did,
car,
and
they've improved
that's-
so much.
That's
Yeah,
why I'm like,
they-
it's so hard.
I don't know.
I'll
I
go-
don't think they've improved to A minus level.
I'll go B plus on this.
Okay.
Ugh,
Like
again.
it's like again, it's like they started with a shit car, but at least they've had the hubris to acknowledge, okay, we built a shit car, we're gonna change that. They've brought some upgrades.
I want them
They've
to
also
be back
they've
on top next year.
yeah. But they've also been beat by a customer team multiple times.
That customer
So
team is now getting beat every single week by him, though.
yeah,
True.
so it's sort of all right, so Hamilton is currently 4th in the championship.
Yeah, I think
Grades.
honestly, A minus.
Okay,
I think we can
we're all
agree.
sort of
A
on the same.
minus, yeah.
Yeah, A minus, yeah.
Well, after last year, the question was, is George better than Lewis? That was a debate.
No.
Lewis comes out and definitely this year I said, fuck off, I'm still number 1.
Yes.
Remember who wears the crown in this
Yeah.
team. George, 6th in the championship.
I'll give a B to George.
B.
Yeah, that's what
I
I was
agree with
thinking too.
B.
I expect a little more
there's been times where Hamilton has shown and again, you're comparing a 7-time world champion to a guy in his third season in Mercedes.
Yeah.
After being in a Williams, so it's not that he's done horrible, but there are some glaring mistakes where it's just like how.
It's only a second season Mercedes, by the way.
A second season, dude. It's my brain is fried, and
I know.
I don't understand COVID timing, so
it's okay. Nothing makes sense. We're getting old. It's
no.
Fine. We're already developing dementia.
Sweet. Alzheimer's.
No.
What?
No,
What'd you say, Sonny?
Okay, Sean.
Mercedes.
You get to No.
It's because there's Alzheimer's joke. God damn it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Aston Martin.
They're third.
They're still third somehow.
Ooh, okay.
109. They're up by 5 points on Ferrari.
Hey, I will give an A to Aston Martin.
Okay.
Okay.
A minus. I'll meant A minus.
I was like,
Had they kept their form up, A plus. But yeah, I would say A minus because they've dipped a bit.
Yes,
Yes.
that's sort of where I was landing.
I think I'll agree with that. Yeah.
Okay. Everybody's A minus.
A minus for Aston Martin.
Yeah, you gotta. They
Yep.
started off
And
good.
they haven't brought a major update since Canada, which was a month and a half ago.
And it wasn't really that,
And
they didn't really come out and do anything with that upgrade
Yeah, they've
either.
been downhill ever since.
Yep.
It was not an upgrade. It was a downgrade.
So, and honestly, the tracks that they've raced at too have not really favored them outside of Hungary, I'd say, right?
Again, I'll be watching them
Like
for Italy, and that's kind of it.
Yeah.
Good third place.
Like
there.
like that draggy setup doesn't really agree with some of these tracks.
Or
So.
high speed also.
Yeah, exactly. Like you look at some of the charts, it's like, yeah, they're right smack dab in the middle or worse.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
Alonso.
A plus.
Yep.
A plus. I agree. He's shown really, really, really good form this year, despite the car.
And he has outdriven the car when it's been bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like the fact he was 5th
Yeah.
yet this weekend was a bit of a surprise. Especially after how they did last weekend.
Yeah, I had nothing else to say.
At the one track they probably should have done out of the last 4 since the upgrade. That was the worst one for him.
Yeah.
So, Stroll. This one's gonna be painful. I feel like.
I think B.
B.
Because you have to look at the context. Like, beginning of the year, struggled with the injury coming off that. Still put in decent results. Is what DNF'd in Saudi, engine went there. Monaco, that was the rain. Unlucky. Also, bad strategy call at that time by the team. So.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yes, I'm gonna give a B minus. Only because he just hasn't really had that good of a first half of the season, and there are things that aren't his fault. I totally get that. He has had some really hard luck, but it's hard to give beyond that when you're not up there, You're constantly being out-qualified or out driven by your teammate.
For me, it's not just that; it's that he's not even in the same realm most weekends. And again, it's a 2-time champion versus a guy in his first real shot at a car that isn't complete dog shit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But you look at some of the progress that a guy again, this is not a apples to apples comparison, but Logan Sargent started well outside of Albon, and now he's roughly at about a second, 3/4 of a second consistently. He's shown that improvement. I don't see that as much with Stroll this year, and that's sort of where it's But then again, you look at something like the injury, and it's how much is that still affecting him? Because whether you want to believe it or not, if you like Stroll or not,
Mm-hmm.
injuries like that could affect you for a lot, linger, And also, if you see it in other sports where guys get off to a slow start, they never recover it.
Momentum is a big thing. Yeah. And
Yep.
Stroll's
It
a guy
is.
who
And-
has no momentum in his career. He does great, terrible. Bad.
You- Yeah,
Like he's up
yeah,
and down
he-
all the time.
Well, and he has he has consistency issues because you see the glimpses where it's like, holy crap, he's doing really well, and then it doesn't show up again for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
Then he
so
gives you
weird.
some. Yeah, then it'll be like he gives you a podium in Azerbaijan, and then
Q1 exit.
does, yeah,
Yeah.
and it's just, and then never does well at Azerbaijan again.
Yeah.
So it's a weird one, and I'm trying not to be too harsh on him. I almost went C. If it wasn't for the injury, it probably would have been a C or worse. He's rough.
Ooh.
Fair
Okay.
enough.
Anyways, Ferrari.
C.
B
Speak to the
minus.
pasta. B
C
minus.
plus. I'll give a
A
C
C.
plus. I just can't. Can't give anything higher than that. I'm
They've-
insanely disappointed with them.
They've done better recently. It's still not great. Like, where is it? Charles is right on 99 points, tied with George. Dines 92 points. They're roughly where you expect them to be, kind of.
I guess.
But at the same time, it should be better than this. So I'm sort of in the same where it's like B minus. I don't see as many of the boneheaded decisions, but they still pop up from time to time. And it's like, what the hell are you guys doing?
I think it's the strategy calls for me, to be honest. Like, if the strategy calls were a little more, like, made more sense at times, I think I'd maybe lean more towards, like, a B minus. But, like, and maybe it's just my bitterness as a Ferrari fan. It's just C plus.
And I
Gotta
think
do
part
better.
of it is also the complete, we're in charge of everything. We are not going to let the drivers make any calls whatsoever. Yes, it's good to have, you should be able to do that. The fact they're doing it all the time and it seems like they never listen to what Charles or Carlos want. That's part of the problem at Ferrari these days, is that they don't have the driver input. Right?
Yeah, that's fair.
So, that being said, Leclerc, like I said, currently tied for fifth.
B.
I would say B plus. I think he's done the best that he could in the car that he's been given.
See, I say B for him because he's also made a lot of mistakes this year, you know?
Yep.
From spinning, wrecking
Well, he's
out,
made
doing
some
stuff
mistakes,
like that, pushing
but-
too hard. Yeah.
I'd still think he's done the best that he can in the situation that he's currently in.
That's fair.
Yeah, I ended up at a B as well for him. Carlos was just behind in seventh.
B. I give the
Mid.
entire team like a B. They're all just like,
They're meh.
yeah.
It's not as
It
it's
is
not as
very
bad, but there still isn't that.
The hype has
B.
evaporated on that team.
No, the hope has. There was no hype, just hope.
Okay, sorry, yeah. Hype is Aston. That also evaporated. Hype and hope is gone.
Yeah, I told you the train has fully derailed.
So, all right, McLaren. Currently,
Can I give 2 grades?
what, like
No.
first half and second half?
First half F, second half A plus? Like,
No.
they've
So
turned
you
it
can
around.
so call it a B plus.
Fine, I'll call it a B.
No, I'm giving them a C. A C. And the only reason that they're getting a C, it was a D minus, but you're getting a C because you've done better in the last, like, what?
3
2 races? 3 races? Okay. It is not enough for you to get a B.
Yeah,
I'm
look at,
gonna
like,
go with a B
okay,
minus.
just to be that guy, but in the first 10 races of the year, Norris finished 17th, 17th, 6 9th, 17th, 9, 17th, 13th, 4, 2, 2, 7. Like, they were garbage until
Yeah.
Austria, and they just came alive.
Garbage. Garbage. Total garbage.
I will agree with Sean. If we could give 2 grades, it's 100% F for the first 6 races and A+ for the last 4.
Sure, absolutely.
But-
if we could give 2 grades, but we can't. So
Yeah.
C.
So it averages
B.
out to roughly a B.
B, good recovery so
minus.
far. If they
Yep.
continue the season on this pace,
Exactly.
that's
Okay.
that's an
Exactly.
amazing effort.
Yeah. So
Sure.
all
We'll
right,
see.
drivers. Norris.
B+.
Okay.
C plus.
I say Norris has had
C+.
2 good results.
Wow.
He's had 2
Two
good
good
ones.
results. And part of that comes from my bitterness with just how he acts in general. So C plus.
And 2 broken trophies.
Yes.
C+, disciplinary note.
Yeah.
Oh,
Dis-
did you see that
disruptive
Red
in
Bull broke
class.
their own?
He
Yes,
got a
I did see
detention.
that. Yes. And then Max goes, it's broken.
It's
Broken.
broken.
Yeah.
These guys roast each other so hard.
Oh,
Yeah.
they do.
I'm gonna give Norris a B. Like, it's not his fault for those first 4 or 5 results. That car was dog shit. We all know it.
That's
They
fair.
knew it. The grid
Well,
knew
everybody
it.
knew it.
So, Piastri.
C+.
C+. Wow, a little harsh.
C.
Am I
Plus.
wrong? He's done nothing except 2 good races.
Yeah,
And
and
what
then the
we just
other
said
has
about
been,
Norris.
rookie mistakes
No,
and
yes.
just being bad.
But at least with Norris, he had point finishes in other races. Piastri finished in
True.
the points his home race. Monaco, where you can't pass anyone.
So he had a good qualifying.
He was 10th.
Yeah, it's not enough.
Okay, that's considering where the car was at that point.
Yeah.
I'd say that's not
Again.
bad.
He had,
C.
4 points? Then he had 2 top 5 finishes? Yeah, no.
Come on, it's a C. You can't give him more than that.
I gave him
I
a
was
C+.
going with I was going with a B-.
Oh, that is
He's
being way too lenient.
He's a
Come on,
rookie.
B
He's
minus.
a
Yeah.
rookie.
He may not have gotten cut, but he hasn't been doing well.
Hasn't been doing complete dog shit either.
And he had a
Yeah.
terrible move this weekend. Recency bias.
Yeah. I was gonna say that's heavy recency bias.
Mm-hmm.
I stand by it.
Fine.
All right, you stand by it, you McLaren fan. Sure, whatever. Total bias, but okay.
Next.
It's not my fault. My team is just not completely mid, and I can't just say B. Yeah.
You know what? Get out.
Alpine.
The French.
Canceling.
Can I give them F for French?
Ooh.
No, you cannot give F for French.
I'll give them an F anyways.
As a team, can I give the team like a C+, an organization F-?
Yeah.
You're
As an
giving- you know what?
organization, total F.
You're giving him a D then, Sean.
Fine.
Yeah, I guess they get a D,
D for I don't
but
know,
not a
D,
big
Sean.
D.
D. Fine, we'll do D.
That was a good one, Taylor.
If I can.
I'll acknowledge that. I'll acknowledge that.
Thank you. Thank you. I was also going to say, and maybe not as big as the one that's currently residing in your house.
Oh.
I'm going to let that sit out there. You know what? We're just going to let
Yep.
that sit out there. We're good with that. We're completely good with that. Anyway.
Fake one.
Nope. No.
Okay, anyway.
Ocon.
He's actually been not bad. I would say B minus.
He is
Yeah.
10th.
But B minus, I think he's
Yeah,
been
he's-
doing
yeah,
the
he's
best
not
that he
bad, yeah.
can in the crap situation that he's in.
It's better than Piastri. It's a B-.
B
I was
minus.
gonna say B.
Oh my gosh, you're being so nice to these
I know, right?
drivers.
Me and Taylor are
He-
the mean ones
he-
here.
He had a
What's
he had a
going on?
he had a solid podium in Monaco. He had a great
Yeah,
drive.
Yeah, it's fair. Yeah, I can see that. I'm
Right?
still going to
Like-
B-.
But
Like for
yeah,
a car that hasn't been there all it's sort of slowly trickled off.
He also has the most retirements.
yeah.
Ooh. Is that fully his fault necessarily?
Do you want to go back and check?
We can go back later. I'm pretty sure there's been a couple mechanical, and it's like, can't fault a guy for mechanical. If you're not going to fault Stroll for mechanical, can't fault him for mechanical.
Fine. Okay, moving
right,
on. Gasly.
Gasly. Currently, where is he?
B-.
12th.
I would also say B minus.
I'll go C+. I can't give the same.
I'm gonna give the
Ocon
same.
B minus, Gasly C plus.
I was gonna go B minus for Gasly. What'd you say, Taylor? B minus.
B minus
Hey, B minus.
Okay.
Nice and easy.
because I like him.
Next, surprisingly, Williams.
Technically, it's a tie there.
You know what? Okay,
You know what?
So
I
I'm gonna
went by the
give-
sheet.
I'm gonna give Williams a B because honestly, they are not where I expected them to be.
I'll give him a C
We
plus.
we all had them ninth or 10th.
Yeah, that's fair.
And they are, yeah. See, like they're surpassing my expectations of them for the season, so I'm gonna give them a B.
Sean, you said C plus.
C plus.
I'll go B minus. Like there's still like just a top end speed team.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, they've done all right considering they're literally just leaning on Albon.
I want to see them at Monza.
Yes, that'll be fun. Let Logan Sargent go down the main straight to Freebird.
Yeah.
Yeah, that works. Checks out.
All right, Albon, who is currently where are you? 13th, 11 points.
A minus.
Yeah, I would say A minus as well. He's actually been driving really well in the Williams car. That I think he's been getting the most out of it for sure.
I think it's coming to his own as a team leader too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep, and I'm gonna say like before we grade Sargent,
D.
part of Sargent's being. Did you say A?
No, I said D.
Oh, D. Just say
F.
part of Sargent's development has to be due to the fact that Albon's just doing well, teaching him.
Yeah,
I think-
maybe.
Sure.
We'll give that benefit of the doubt,
Sure.
Yeah.
and we'll also give Sargent D for doubt.
Okay.
D minus.
Yeah, I was sort of like D. He hasn't really done anything.
No, he's just
I
there.
guess.
He's
Again,
a field. He's
he's
a
in-
field filler.
He's
All
improved.
I'm saying,
He's shown some improvement, but not a whole lot.
Get a point,
but
kid,
if
then
your
talk to me.
bottom, if your bottom like grade is an F, and you got to work your way up from that, I don't think he's worked beyond a D minus.
All
That's
right,
fair.
Haas, the team tied with Williams. You go like
C.
I was gonna go
Minus.
like D. I was gonna go like D plus
Maybe C
maybe.
minus. Yeah, C minus.
C
Okay, so
minus.
same range.
Yeah.
I would like to point out this team has not scored a point since Azerbaijan.
They've been like okay, but like not really fighting in the midfield. Like they've had some good moments, but like let me stress that they've been moments.
Yeah.
Fleeting at best, I believe, is the best way to put it.
Like Hulkenberg,
Hulkenberg-
has more points. I think K-Mag's been the better driver. So
9 and 2 is the split. Hulkenberg leading.
really.
Yep.
Wait.
Because
In
Hulkenberg's-
points or in head to
In
head?
points. Points.
Yes, I meant like head to head.
Oh, okay.
I think.
Yeah.
I think
Oh, yeah.
Magnussen's better.
Yeah. Where did he get those points? I'm curious.
He got it at Australia. Remember that shit show
Oh,
for the
so-
race?
Yeah, so we got 6 points for the shit show, and then 3 points in Austria
Sprint race or?
sprint race.
Oh.
Or that was because he had a really good qualifying.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. No. Yeah. I still say Hulkenberg will give a. I'll give him a C. And I think Magnussen C plus.
Where was he? Yeah, Hulkenberg was 6th in the sprint. So what did you say, Sean?
C for Hulkenberg. C plus
Okay.
Magnussen. They've just been kind of meh to me.
Okay, yeah, I'm sort of the same. They're just sort of there. Taylor?
See?
She's halfway to the TV for Bachelor at this point.
Yep. Let's wrap this
All right,
up.
well,
then.
yep. Alpha and Alpha. Let's just do them all together.
Okay. No. Alfa Romeo. D.
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 Alpha.
Yes.
Sorry.
F.
F.
Okay.
F.
Okay.
Big fat F.
But that comes with a caveat. For the drivers for Alfa Romeo, I will give C minus.
For both?
Yeah. I think they've been
Yeah, I
fine.
agree with that.
They've had some good moments.
Yep, they showed their 1 lap pace. What, last week?
Yeah.
Okay, but yeah, they're not really anything else.
And then
Sonoda.
for A+.
Yep. He's a shining star amongst the shit.
Yeah.
I would agree with that again.
And then just for fun, I have both De Vries and Ricardo here. at the bottom.
F for DeFries.
F for De Vries and incomplete is what I have for Ricardo.
I was going to say the same thing.
NA.
Yeah.
Not enough
Okay.
data.
That's not
two
tested.
races. One was good, one was shit. So
Yeah.
and it's still the worst car on the grid. So
Yeah.
or one of the worst. Okay, fun. All the grades done. Good
Yeah.
job, teachers.
One last
Sean's
thing before
sister
we
will
go.
be proud.
Yes. I also wanted to mention in Formula 3 this weekend, Sophia Flourish had started 24th, finished 7th in that race,
good
and
for her.
became the first woman to score a point in Formula 3. So
God damn.
Woohoo!
that's what I thought was a
We
cool
love-
thing and wanted to shout that out.
Moments.
Yes.
Yes. Good. Love it. 10 out
And
of 10.
she's someone who's always wanted to do it the traditional way and hated the W series. And the more that continues to be a failure, kind of seems like she may have been onto something.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anyway, is that all we
Magic.
have? Is that all we got for this week?
I was gonna say, do we want to talk about Richmond quickly? Or
Taylor's going
I was
to say
gonna-
fuck off with that one.
No!
We can save it for next week.
Save it for next week. Priorities.
or we
Okay.
can just talk about it and you can leave.
Okay, rude. Not much happened. But anyway.
Fine.
Not a lot did happen. Chase Elliott's not getting the playoffs. I'm telling you, Steven.
Yeah.
Give it up.
It's
Still
Give
time.
it
just
up.
give up.
Baby, give it up.
Still time.
There is not time. Give up.
Not in the playoffs. In the playoffs. Not in the playoffs. Okay, I think on that note, yeah.
Yeah,
So
please-
thank you for
please
listening to
stop.
this episode, and we'll be back next week.
Thank you for tuning in to the Spare Parts Racing podcast. Remember to subscribe so you don't miss an episode, and follow the show on Twitter at Spare Parts Racing. That's Spare Parts RACIN, and on TikTok at Spare Parts Pod. Follow the hosts at Sean Chavarella, at Stephen Clary, and at Tay Moore.